Have you ever found yourself suddenly awake between 3 to 5 in the morning, wondering why? It's a question that has puzzled many of us. You've probably experienced it yourself, that sudden jolt of wakefulness in the early hours, a time when most of the world is still wrapped in the arms of Morpheus. The question is, why does this happen? Is there a deeper, perhaps spiritual significance to this phenomenon? According to some spiritual traditions, the hours between 3 and 5 in the morning aren't just for sleep. They're a sacred time, a time when the veil between the physical and spiritual realms becomes thin, allowing us to tap into a deeper level of consciousness. One of the proponents of this idea is Dolores Cannon, an American author and past life therapist whose teachings have provided a potential explanation for our early morning awakenings. She posited that the early hours foster heightened sensitivity to energies and may indicate communication from individuals or guardian angels. The idea is intriguing, isn't it? Imagine waking up not because your body demands it, but because there's a spiritual entity trying to communicate with you, guiding you, and providing you with cosmic insights. Or perhaps it's your own inner voice, urging you to take a moment for introspection and meditation to foster spiritual growth. But it's not just about communication. Cannon's teachings also suggest that these early hours might be an optimal time for astral projection experiences. It's a call for self-compassion, a reminder for us to ease our self-criticism and embrace the stillness of the early hours. So the next time you find yourself awake during these hours, try not to dismiss it as mere insomnia or an inconvenient disturbance. Instead, consider the possibility that there might be a deeper spiritual significance to your wakefulness. Perhaps Dolores Cannon's teachings might shed some light on this mystery. Dolores Cannon, a renowned spiritualist, might have some answers. She is a name that has left an indelible mark in the world of metaphysics and spirituality. A prolific author and dedicated researcher, Cannon has dedicated her life to uncovering the mysteries of the universe, the human condition, and the spiritual realm. Her teachings, known for their depth and insight, have touched countless lives and continue to inspire seekers on the path of spiritual exploration. One of Cannon's most compelling teachings revolves around the early hours of the morning, specifically between 3 to 5 a.m. She posited that this time holds a unique spiritual significance. According to Cannon, the boundary or the veil between the physical and spiritual realms becomes thinner during these hours. This thinning veil allows for an enhanced connection with the spiritual world. But what does this mean exactly? Well, Cannon believed that during these hours, we become more receptive to spiritual activity and divine guidance. It's like tuning into a radio frequency that's usually out of range. Suddenly, we have access to new channels of communication, channels that are often teeming with messages from spiritual entities. These entities could be anything from departed loved ones to guardian angels. They might offer us guidance, deliver messages, or simply remind us of their presence. It's a time when the spiritual world reaches out to us, inviting us to engage and interact. But it's not just about receiving messages. Cannon also stressed the importance of using this time for introspection, for quiet contemplation. This heightened sensitivity to energies makes it an ideal time for meditation and spiritual exercises. It's a chance to delve deep into our subconscious minds, to explore our spiritual selves, and to grow and evolve on a spiritual level. Moreover, Cannon suggested that this phenomenon might also be associated with astral projection experiences. Astral projection refers to the experience of our consciousness or astral body, leaving our physical body to travel in the astral plane. This plane is thought to be a dimension of reality beyond the physical world, where we can experience and learn things that are not possible in our physical form. Lastly, Cannon emphasized the need for self-compassion and easing self-criticism during these hours. It's a gentle reminder that our spiritual journey is a deeply personal one, and it's okay to be gentle with ourselves as we navigate it. So, could these early hours be a special time for spiritual growth and cosmic insights? According to Dolores Cannon, they certainly could be. But as with all things spiritual, the truth is ultimately a deeply personal discovery. And perhaps By embracing these early hours, we might just find our own unique path to spiritual growth and cosmic insights. According to Cannon, the hours between 3 to 5 a.m. are when the veil between our physical world and the spiritual realm is at its thinnest. This is a time when the boundary separating our tangible reality from the ethereal world of spirits and energies is at its most permeable. Let's delve a little deeper into this concept. Picture the veil as a gossamer curtain, delicately separating two distinct worlds. As the night deepens, this curtain becomes increasingly sheer, allowing for a unique exchange of energies between realms. During these early hours, our sensitivity to these energies is heightened. It's as if our spiritual antennae are tuned to pick up on subtle signals that might otherwise be lost in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. It's a time when we are most open to receiving guidance from spiritual entities, be they our individual spirit guides, guardian angels, or even loved ones who have passed on. Imagine receiving a cryptic whisper, a wordless nudge in a certain direction, or a comforting reassurance that you're not alone on your journey. These gentle forms of communication can often occur during these early hours, when the veil is thin and we're most receptive to such messages. Now let's touch on another intriguing aspect of this time, astral projection. Some believe that the thinning of the veil can facilitate experiences of astral travel. This is a phenomenon where the spirit or consciousness can temporarily leave the physical body, venturing into the astral plane. It's a concept that has been explored in many spiritual traditions around the world and is often associated with these early morning hours. But what can we do when we find ourselves awake during these hours? Awakening at these hours need not be a cause for alarm, but rather an opportunity for introspection and growth. It's a window into a world that is often overlooked, a time when the noise of the day has quieted, and the stillness of the early morning allows us to tune into the subtler energies around and within us. Dolores Cannon emphasized the importance of intuition during these hours. Intuition, that inner voice that guides us, often gets drowned out during the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. But in the quiet of the early morning, when the world is still asleep, our intuition can speak to us more clearly. This is a time to listen, to tune in to that gentle whisper that can guide us towards our highest good. In addition to intuition, introspection is another vital component of these early hours. It's a time to look within, to reflect on our experiences, our feelings, our dreams. It's a time to make sense of the world around us and our place in it. It's a time to ask ourselves those deep, probing questions that we often shy away from during the busyness of the day. And let's not forget meditation. This practice, long revered for its ability to calm the mind and connect us to the present moment, is particularly potent during these hours. The stillness of the early morning provides the perfect backdrop for a deep, restorative meditation practice. It's a time to connect with the universal energy that flows through all things, a time to feel part of the vast, interconnected web of life. Finally, the early hours of the morning can be a time for self-compassion and easing self-criticism. Often, we are our own harshest critics, but in the tranquility of the early morning, we can practice offering kindness and forgiveness to ourselves. It's a time to remember that we are all works in progress, that mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey, and that we are all deserving of love and compassion. So, the next time you wake up between 3 to 5 a.m., remember, it might be more than just a random occurrence. It could be a call from within, a nudge towards introspection, growth, and self-compassion. Embrace these early hours, for they hold the potential for profound spiritual growth. To sum it all up, waking up between 3 to 5 a.m. might be more than just a sleep disturbance. It's a time imbued with profound spiritual significance, according to the teachings of Dolores Cannon. This early morning period is not merely about the physical world waking up. It's also a time when the spiritual realm draws close, offering an unparalleled opportunity for spiritual growth. As the veil thins between our physical and spiritual realities, we find ourselves more sensitive to energies, more receptive to guidance from spiritual entities. This time is an invitation to introspection, to meditate, to tune into our intuition and open ourselves to cosmic insights. It's a call to venture into the depths of our own consciousness, to navigate the unexplored territories of the self, and to cultivate a sense of self-compassion. So, the next time you find yourself awake during these early hours, consider embracing the opportunity for spiritual exploration and growth.